Welcome back, Yellowstone fans. Get ready, YouTube audience, to my channel, Philosophy Step, as we step back into the untamed frontier with the explosive prequel everyone's been waiting for. The official trailer for Yellowstone 1944 is here, unveiling a new generation of power struggles, betrayal, and raw survival. Who will rule the land before the Duttons? Meet the star-studded cast, uncover the secrets of 1944, and witness the birth of a legacy. Coming in 2026, the next chapter of the Yellowstone saga is fiercer than ever. Saddle up, this is just the beginning. The Dutton legacy began long before John, Beth, and Rip, and now we're going back to where it all truly started. Yellowstone 1944 is the highly anticipated prequel to Paramount's hit series, diving into the brutal, lawless era of the American West, where power was taken by blood, not words. The official trailer has finally arrived, teasing a gripping tale of survival, betrayal, and the ruthless battles that shaped the Dutton Empire. From an all-star cast to shocking new revelations, this is your first look at the untold origins of Yellowstone Ranch. Who ruled the land before John Dutton? What dark secrets lie buried in the past? And how far will the Duttons go to protect what's theirs? Yellowstone 1944 pulls back the curtain on the brutal, untamed origins of the Dutton Empire, revealing a world where land wasn't inherited, it was conquered. Set in the fading days of the true American frontier, this prequel strips away the modern luxuries and political maneuvering of the original series to expose the raw violence and moral compromises that built Yellowstone Ranch. This is the story of how outlaws became landowners, where every fence post was planted with blood-stained hands. The Duttons of 1944 aren't the powerful dynasty we know. They're scrappy survivors navigating a West still ruled by gunpowder and grit. With World War I veterans returning home to change landscapes, the family must fight new threats while wrestling with old demons. Yellowstone 1944 doesn't just expand the franchise's timeline, it exposes the original sin of the Dutton legacy, showing how the ranch's picturesque valleys hide unmarked graves and how the family's wealth was built on stolen ground. This is Western war at its finest, where every character walks the knife's edge between civilization and savagery, and no one rides away clean. The screen fades in on a frozen Montana dawn in 1944. A lone rider moves like a shadow across the snow-dusted plains, his breath curling in the frigid air. This is John Dutton, not the powerful cattle baron of the future, but a battle-hardened veteran with haunted eyes and blood-stained hands. The war in Europe may be ending, but his war for this land is just beginning. Yellowstone 1944 peels back the polished veneer of the modern Dutton Empire to reveal its brutal, lawless origins. This is a West where deeds are written in gunpowder and blood rather than ink, where the strong take what they need. At the story's heart lies the great contradiction of the American West, the tension between civilization and savagery. John Dutton, returns from World War I to find his family clinging to survival on marginal land, surrounded by enemies on all sides, the Broken Rock Sioux, who remember when this was their hunting ground, cattle barons like Silas Whitmore, who see the Duttons as upstart squatters, and the U.S. government's agents, who arrive with maps and laws threatening to make all their violent struggles obsolete. What follows is a Shakespearean tragedy in cowboy boots. The Duttons rise mirrors America's own violent adolescence, with every acre they gain stained by betrayal and bloodshed. Eleanor Dutton, Joan's sister, plays political games with the same ruthless efficiency as her descendant Beth, but without the safety of modern justice. Their brother Eli's hot temper sparks conflicts that will echo through generations. And in young ranch hand Harlan Rust, we see the prototype for Rip Wheeler, a man forged in the flames of violence and survival, whose loyalty will be repaid with generations of servitude. The land itself emerges as the true main character, a sprawling, unforgiving paradise that demands everything from those who would claim it. Through stunning cinematic sequences, we witness the raw beauty that justifies the Duttons' obsession, valleys teeming with elk, rivers thick with trout, and grasslands that could feed thousands of cattle. This is what they fight for, what they kill for, what they sacrifice their souls for. As the season builds toward its climax, the trailer hints at the rot already growing in the Dutton's foundation. Flash forwards tease future generations struggling with the same moral compromises. A weathered journal appears, its pages whispering secrets that could destroy the family. And in the haunting final shot, a young indigenous boy watches from the trees as the Duttons celebrate their first major land acquisition, a silent witness to the birth of an empire built on stolen ground. Yellowstone 1944 doesn't just expand the Dutton saga, it reframes everything we thought we knew about television's most powerful ranching family. By showing us their humble, brutal beginnings, it asks uncomfortable questions about the true cost of legacy and whether any amount of land is worth the weight of all those unmarked graves. This is the West stripped of nostalgia, a gripping tale of ambition and survival that will leave fans questioning where their loyalties truly lie when the bullets start flying and the brands start burning. The Dutton family in Yellowstone 1944 is a powder keg of tension, with warring factions threatening to tear apart the dynasty before it can even solidify its power. At the center of the conflict stands John Dutton, the battle-hardened patriarch whose wartime trauma has forged him into a ruthless strategist. His vision for the ranch clashes violently with his younger brother, Eli Dutton, a hot-headed gunslinger who believes problems are best solved with violence. Eleanor Dutton, their cunning sister, plays both sides, publicly supporting Joan's long-term plans while secretly funding Eli's reckless vendettas against their rivals. Her manipulations create a web of deceit that ensnares even Harlan Rust, the family's most loyal enforcer, who begins questioning whether his devotion is to the Duttons or just to John personally. The season's most explosive drama comes when Caroline Whitmore, the daughter of cattle baron Silas Whitmore, seduces Eli in a calculated move to turn the brothers against each other. Their affair leads to a shocking mid-season betrayal, where Eli nearly guns down John during a botched land deal, only for Harlan to take the bullet instead. This act of violence forces the family to choose sides, with ranch hands and hired guns splitting into opposing camps. Meanwhile, Eleanor's hidden pregnancy, the father either a rival landowner or a U.S. Marshal, becomes a ticking time bomb. If revealed, it could delegitimize the Duttons' claims to the land they fought so viciously to hold. By season's end, the family's fractures seem irreparable, until an attack by Broken Rock warriors forces them into a temporary, blood-soaked alliance. But the final shot reveals Eleanor burning letters that could prove the Duttons' original land claims were forged, hinting that the real war isn't with outsiders, but with each other. The final chapter of Yellowstone 1944 doesn't end with triumph, it ends with scars. The Duttons have won their land, but at a cost that will haunt their descendants for generations. In the climactic showdown, John Dutton stands alone on a ridge, overlooking the valley he's conquered. The bodies of his enemies and some of his own men are strewn across the snow. His brother Eli lies dying in the mud, shot by Silas Whitmore's men after a reckless charge. With his last breath, Eli whispers, "Was it worth it?" Joan has no answer. Eleanor's betrayal is revealed when she flees in the night with the family's stolen deeds, leaving behind only a note: "You built this empire on lies. I won't die for them." Harlan Rust, now permanently crippled from the bullet meant for John, watches her go, the first crack in the Dutton family's unbreakable loyalty. The season's final moments flash forward to 1950, where an older John Dutton sits at a grand oak desk inside the now prosperous Yellowstone ranch. He opens a letter from Eleanor, postmarked from Mexico. Inside is a single photo, a child with her eyes and the Dutton smirk. The camera pulls back to reveal the ranch's new heir, a young John Dutton playing outside, unaware of the bloodstains buried beneath his future. Yellowstone 1944. Yellowstone 1944 leaves its characters and its audience with a harrowing truth: every empire is built on bones. The Duttons just buried theirs deeper than most. A blood-red sunset bleeds across the Montana sky as John Dutton, kneels in the freshly turned earth of the ranch's northern pasture. His hands, calloused and scarred, press into the soil like a man trying to choke the land itself around him. The bodies of his enemies and one brother lie waiting for their unmarked graves. Eli's corpse is the last to be buried. Joan doesn't pray. He doesn't weep. He simply drops a single bullet into the grave, the same caliber that killed him, before shoveling dirt over his last living reminder of mercy. At the ranch house, Harlan Russ limps onto the porch, his body broken but his loyalty intact. He hands Joan a whiskey. It's done. The land's yours. Joan drinks, but the victory is ashes in his mouth. Eleanor's fate is revealed in a silent montage. A train speeding south, a suitcase full of stolen money, and a newborn's cry in a Mexico City clinic. The camera lingers on a newspaper headline. Dutton Ranch expands. Mystery surrounds the missing heir. A decade later, the ranch is thriving. A young John Dutton, future father to Kevin Costner's John, rides the fence line with his father, who points to the distant mountains. Everything you see, son, it's yours. But remember, land don't love you back. And neither will the men who try to take it. You've just witnessed the blood-soaked birth of the Dutton Empire. But this is only the beginning. More secrets, more betrayals, and more gunfights are coming your way. Smash that like button if you're ready for Yellowstone 1944 to hit screens in 2026. Turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown, trailer drop, or exclusive cast interview. Comment below, who do you think is the most ruthless Dutton John Sar? Eleanor or Eli? Bonus! The first 100 commenters get a free Yellowstone 1944 fan poster.